Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and I'm here on Tuesday, July 9th, for a stitching update this week. I was planning to come film yesterday, and there was just too much to do yesterday, so this got scrapped. Yeah, it was the first thing to go, pretty much, especially when everybody's home. Not everybody, my husband wasn't home, but when all the kids are home and we have lots of things to do, yeah, this gets scrapped. But I have some things. I was able to come back today, and I want to let everybody know that I'm safe. I have 2 or 3, maybe 4 inquiries into how I was doing, because we had a couple earthquakes last week in Southern California. There was I think it was originally 6.9. It might have been downgraded to like 6.4 or something on 4th of July in the morning, and then a 7.1 in the same location on Friday night. I didn't even feel the first one. A lot of people I was with felt that one. Like my husband was leaning against the kitchen counter at my sister-in-law's house, and it was like, felt like it was jabbing him because it was like a rolling earthquake. And I was sunscreening one of my kids, so I was moving around, and like it didn't even notice. It was like driving in a car. If you're already moving a lot, like you don't really notice those other movements. But I did feel the one on Friday. It was a lot like sitting on a ship. Everything's just like swaying, and you kind of feel a little motion sick. It lasted like a minute. It was really long. But we're pretty far from the epicenter, so nothing really, like chandeliers swayed. There was maybe, this morning we noticed a picture on the wall in my kids' room was crooked, and it's been several days, but it's possible that was from the earthquake. But most things, like nothing was even out of place. So we were very, far away. So even though it was a big earthquake, it wasn't near a lot of things. From what I gather, it was centered in the Mojave Desert. So hopefully there wasn't a lot of damage anywhere, because it was not epicentered in a city. So that's good. But we're okay. Thank you for your concern. I also got my Color and Cotton threads of the month, which are really pretty. These are definitely some of my colors. This one's showing up redder than it is to me. It's pinky, like a burgundy color. It's very me. I haven't even opened these yet, other than to look at them through the package, so I don't know what they're called yet. But I really like them. This one is like a neutral purpley sagey color. It's called Revere. It's pretty nice. I don't know if maybe they'll show up next to the packet. So that's that one. And this is these are the all colors pack. So this pretty pink one I like is called Parlor, and it's like a burgundy. These all have very nice tonal variegations to them. That one is looking more red to you, but it is a nice pinky burgundy color. I think it feels looks a little too warm on the screen, but let's see. This one is Bumblebee. That's a fun name. It's very gold and rich, so that's more accurate, I think. And Fairway. This is fun. This is a really pretty green. It is brighter in person too. That's a nice one. And Mystic, which is a very pretty blue. It's close to that. Very nice. So, as always, really happy with those colors, and I'm looking forward to next year maybe pulling out some patterns that will use some of these hand-dyed flosses. They're slightly different than what you see, but in general, like a very pretty combination, so I love those. And I love her fabric too. I'm looking forward to maybe starting a few things next year that use her fabric, just so that I can use her fabric again. I really liked using it on my letter S fairy. That was pretty. Very nice fabric, and it's all of her stuff is color fast, so if you stitch in hand, it's safer in case you need to wash it. So what I've been doing this past week, Monday, when I filmed last Monday, I was supposed to work on Simpsons for my husband's piece that I work on once a month, and as I suspected, I didn't get any time to stitch on Monday. So I did have a little bit of time on Tuesday, and so what I decided to do is to work one string on this and some on the touchdown for my son. So I found the first string I pulled off the bobbin of this hair color was a nice short one, and since it's 40 count, 1/1, even a short length will do quite a bit. So I went ahead and just did that, just so that I could say I worked on it this month. And so this is what that looked like last time. And here it is now. So I did a few tiny little blue stitches in there. And they showed up pretty bright when I was working on them, but they look kind of dark here. There we go, that's a little better. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of blue in Marge's hair. So that's going to take a long time to fill in, but I got it started. And also on Tuesday I worked on my son's piece. Sorry, I bumped you. Touchdown. Just did a little bit, I think maybe 1 or 2 strings of white in Charles Woodson's jersey. So he's my, here's this one. The Raiders defender that I have in here. This is what that looked like last time. And here it is now. So I'm not sure if there's any noticeable difference, but there are a couple more strings of white in here. So still not done. It goes like down to here. But again, I thought I would have more time to stitch on Tuesday than I did, but every little bit counts. And then Wednesday, my parents were here. I did a little bit on one of my temperature pieces, maybe my balloons. I don't think I got this out at all on Wednesday. So this is my Lady of the Flag. I was supposed to do it Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and didn't have any time to stitch on Wednesday, but it did get some time on Thursday and Friday to work on it. So I got a little bit of the flag done. Oh yeah, I want to keep that. This is what that looked like last time. And here it is now. That was fun. Center that on here. This is Stony Point linen 32 count by Witcholt. I finished off, there's some Kryneck in here that I did and worked that down until the string ran out. And then I did a few of the beads. So this top section of the pole is finished. And then I worked this one strand of this dark navy, and I think this is this one string and this is one string. So I got, over the course of the 2 days, I had a few strings that I was able to put in. I was hoping to get a little bit more, but it's a start. So there's Lady of the Flag. And that was nice to work on. I don't know what to say about that. I'm without words. I'm enjoying that one. And then I started to work on Saturday and Sunday was the start of the Tour de France Sal in Full Coverage Fanatics. So I had one person comment and ask what the details were, and she's not on Facebook. And basically all it is you're stitching how many kilometers they're riding in each day of the race. So there's started on the 6th, and I believe it goes till the 28th of July, so most of the month of July. There's a couple rest days in there. So if you wanted to stitch along, just look up on their Tour de France website, and whatever kilometers they have for each day, that's how many stitches you need to do. And for the Full Coverage Fanatics group in particular, we posted a beginning picture, and then post a picture every day after you've stitched your, required stitches for that day. You could go either for all of the stitches, just the flat legs, or just the hill legs. And so I'm doing just the flats and time trials. They're all the flat ones and time trials were put together. And because it was like the smallest grouping, and I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew. And this is kind of new to me. I previously have hated to count my stitches, and what I've done previously is I highlight in a different color, and then at the end of the challenge add them all up, and it's really tedious. This time I decided I would try it differently because there's small chunks on each day, so I thought, well, I'll just, every time I go to highlight, I'll just count up the specific symbols that I'm highlighting, and then I'll tally them on the sheet and just keep adding them up until I get to the amount. And that actually worked really well. So here's my little cheat sheet. For Saturday was 192, and then Sunday was 28. Yeah, I'm reading backwards, but you'll probably see it fine on your end. But I just tallied them up, and it actually added up faster than I expected. And it was really fun to go post the pictures and see the progress already being made with just those 2 days. There should be some more today, 2:15 today. So I'm really excited to see progress on this. And it actually made me want to consider fitting this into the 1200 Stitches challenge in Full Coverage Fanatics every month to try to see it finished. And I'll have to do some math to see how long it would take me to finish this if I did 1200 stitches a month, because it's not that big. So this is Quick Stitch Iris. It's 177 by 150. So I'm going to do some math, and based on what I have left to finish, it's only 4 pages, less than 4 pages, because they're not even whole pages. 1 full page. The second page is mostly full, like 1 column short of a full page, and then the 2 bottom ones are also most of a page, but not quite, like 2 or 3 columns, 2 rows short. So they're almost 4 full pages. This is not that big. But I think August, I'm going to do Arbitrary August with 3 randomly drawn, or 10 randomly drawn whips with 3-day rotations. But then going into September, I might try to focus for a finish on this one. We'll see. I don't want to get burnt out on it, but I think if I break it up into daily chunks of how many stitches I need to do each day, it might be kind of a fun thing. I already have my temperature pieces that are my daily pieces, so I don't know. I'm still kind of playing with that idea, but I think it could be fun. Since it's a gift, I don't want to delay it too much. It's already been delayed since 2006 when I first bought this, and then decided I didn't like 2 over 1 on 25 count. But I'm enjoying it now, so I want to get it done and be able to gift it. That would be really nice. So I should work on that some more today, and also on Friday, and those are the only 2 before I should come back again next Monday. There's another one will be on Monday. So yesterday and Wednesday and Thursday I have another project that I'm supposed to work on that I didn't work on yesterday because I just didn't get to it. So this is going to be Cherry Kitten. It's the one I felt like I hadn't worked on in a while and I wanted to work on again. This one I'm working on some fancy, I think it's Pull Stitches fabric that I was gifted. Cross stitch button, maybe? Oh goodness, I think I wrote it down, but this is what this looks like now. I didn't do anything. It's a really pretty fabric. And so this one is the original with a background with the clouds, and I'm doing it no background. So instead of those clouds you see, you'll see this pretty fabric. So it'll be the little kitty hanging out on this pretty fabric. And this is 28 count. So I'm doing 1 over 1 full cross. And you can already see the little kitty starting. And it's really kind of washed out. So, but I didn't do anything on this yesterday, but I should get to it on Wednesday and Thursday. So actually, I don't know. Thursday is going to be a lot of traveling for me. So I don't know if I will get to this on Thursday. We'll see. Maybe Wednesday. We'll see. If I don't get to it at all, that's life, but it would be nice to work on that a little bit this week. I kind of jumped ahead of myself. I also did some travel stitching this week. A lot of travel stitching. Lots of different things going on and doing and waiting. So I've been working on November by the Little House Needleworks, and I finished it. So this is what that looked like last time. And here it is, all done. I think it turned out pretty cute. You can see the white pumpkin and the squirrel, an acorn in the leaves, and probably holly around the edge. But I thought it turned out pretty nice. So now that one's done, and I have one more. Guess I can leave that there. Well, which will be December. That's my last one. And I already got a decent start on this one with the little windows on the house. So, and some snow. I started out, the center was like right here. And so I thought, rather than count up and risk it being wrong, because I like this being very centered on my fabric for framing purposes, I just pop it in a square frame, so I don't want it to be too off-centered. I want to be able to just throw it in there and make sure, know it's centered. So I went ahead and started on these windows, but then since I did some of them, I want the way that I stitch, the way I want my stitches to lay, I figured I'll do all the white before I go and do other things, just so that everything looks consistent. So I have a couple more windows here and some snow at the bottom. Then I think I'll stop with the white and work on the rest of the colors. There is a lot more white in this piece, but that's all I will do for now on the white, and then do the rest later, I think. So one more, and then that will be a finished whip, because I'm counting the whole series as a whip. And then my quilt took a hit, not cut up at all. This is the mock-up of that. And I was able to work on this a little bit. Not yesterday. I think I was hoping to yesterday. Well, when was that? I don't remember. This is what it looked like before. And here it is now. So I was able to get these lows finished. There's still one more block down here that had different colors. And then the same low color was also in all of these lows with a start of this one. That one's low, also the same color. And then this one and this one have a different low, and they're warmer colors as well. We're supposed to get a little bit of a heat wave at the end of the week, so that'll probably fall down here somewhere, similar to that one. I don't know if it'll get up over 100 though, so we'll see what colors I get. It'll at least be in the 90s. So far it's just stuck to the 80s. Which has been really nice to live through. It even like had some drizzle yesterday. Very, very interesting. Oops, my arm in front of the camera. Very interesting summer. Nice and cool. So here's my balloons. And sort of caught up on this one. I think I'm a little bit behind again on this one too, but not much. This is what that one looked like before. And here it is now. I think I'm caught up, except I think this is one to work on today. So I have this whole diagonal done, and then this one started, which is the same color as the one next to it. This is the same color as this one. So, and this is a different color than these two, so it's a little bit similar. But there's one person on my Facebook group, I think it's Stitchalong with Stitchin Mommy on Facebook, who is backstitching all of her squares, which has a fun look to it because it lets in case your squares are the same color and they're touching, then it lets them stand alone as a patch. So that's kind of a fun way to do it.
I don't know that.
Alexa thought I was talking about her. Okay, which I was not. So that's that. Coming along. Not super speedily, but coming along. And then also this week on the 13th and the 14th, I will, Lord willing, get out my knitting woman. I was not able to get her out last month, and I know some of you were sad about that. Wrong one. This is Knitting Woman by Golden Kite. Excuse me. I have the first row done, and I'm working on the second row, and it's been a while since I worked on this. It's for my mom. She knows I'm working on it, so it's not a surprise. And I've made lots of other things for her, so it's also not super high priority. Like my aunt's piece, I've never made anything for my aunt. So, and she's a crafter, so I would think she would appreciate it. So that's why I'd like to work on that one more. But this is what this one looks like now, since I haven't shown it in a little while. All the way down there. And this is down into the third row down here too. So we'll see if hopefully I'll get some time to work on this and make a little bit of progress. That would be nice. Hopefully, again, Arbitrary August will be like Stitch Mania. That's not a normal rotation, but on normal months, I'm hoping to give this 2 days every month to give it some love. And I think that's everything until I see you again. Yeah, on the days that I'm working on the iris for the Tour de France cell, I will, if I have extra time, I'll work on my quilt, probably, or maybe my temperature balloons, like baskets and things like that. So I'll work on those, because those do have lots to get caught up on usually. So that's the plan, and hopefully I'll be able to come back again next week, early in the week, and show you what I'll be working on next. It's been fun. It's been very, very, very busy. This past week was pretty busy. Oh yeah, I had some Etsy stuff too. I'm working on a handkerchief, so that's almost done. Got to get that in the mail this morning, ideally, before the mail comes. So there's been other things I've been working on. But I have gotten some things done, and it's been fun, and I hope you're enjoying your stitching too. I know lots of people have been working on Christmas and July stitching, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm enjoying the sunny, happy, bright things, so I'm still enjoying the summer stuff, probably because it hasn't been excessively hot here, maybe. I'm not sick of hot thoughts. So I'm enjoying what I've chosen and all the bright colors I'm using, so if that's what you want to do, enjoy that. If you want to do Christmas in July, have fun with those too. I don't have a lot of Christmas pieces anyways, so I have a couple winter things. I could maybe see those come up in Arbitrary August next month, so we'll have Christmas in August. Anyways, enough rambling. I hope you have a nice week, and happy stitching. Bye.